Hello and good morning, and welcome to This Week with Ajaz Haque. Today it's Sunday, February the 21st, 2021. The topics we'll cover today is Biden administration reconsidering the peace deal between the United States and the Afghan Taliban. A report has been submitted to the United Nations Security Council about the nefarious activities of Eric Prince's Blackwater Company. Pakistan Supreme Court is hearing a presidential reference regarding the ballots for Senate, whether they should be open or secret ballot. Vaccinations for COVID-19. The question is, once those who are vaccinated, can they travel without further tests, or does the same regime continue? Gwadar port in Pakistan is now active and shipments are coming in for Afghanistan and China. It's one of the deepest seaports in the world, and it is expected to become one of the largest seaports as well. And a cricket match was also played there this week, and then we'll cover the financial markets. Now, as far as the Biden administration is concerned, they want to review the peace agreement with Afghan Taliban, which was reached after considerable discussion and meetings. And reopening it may open a Pandora's box. And if the United States does not honor the commitments made in it, i.e. withdrawal by 1st of May, then this could turn really ugly, and this Afghan war could extend for another 10 years. And it will be hard then to contain it. And it's the American establishment or their defense industry which wants the war to continue. They don't want an end to the war. It was Donald Trump who wanted an end to the war. To his credit, despite all his faults, he pulled out troops from Afghanistan and signed that peace deal. But unfortunately, President Biden is controlled by the establishment, and if they do not avail this opportunity, United States may end up getting involved in Afghanistan in a far worse manner than Vietnam. This week, several dignitaries visited Pakistan in this regard. The new CENTCOM chief was here in Islamabad, General Kenneth McKenzie Jr. Then the President Putin's special envoy to Afghanistan, Zamir Kubilov, was also here at the same time. And then the Ahmad Shah Massoud family, or the Massoud Foundation, Ahmad Shah Massoud's younger brother, was also in Islamabad with a delegation of a number of Afghan Taliban representing the Massoud faction. Now, China, Russia, Pakistan, and the Taliban and the Massoud Foundation, they're all on one side, and they want peace in Afghanistan, and they want the withdrawal of foreign troops and a peaceful transition to a new government. However, the current government installed by the US in Afghanistan, the Ashraf Ghani government, is obviously not interested in giving up power, and they've been using delaying tactics, and it seems that they might have had Biden's ear to delay the withdrawal. At least the NATO seems to be sabotaging the whole peace deal by saying they're not going to withdraw from Afghanistan, regardless of the US peace deal. So it's getting complicated, and it's unfortunate that the consequences of all this could be dire. Anyway, the world opinion is that enough is enough. The US has spent close to $1 trillion, has lost several thousand soldiers in Afghanistan, and they have failed. And in fact, they've been given an honorable exit, and they should take it. And hopefully, better sense will prevail, and President Biden will honor the agreement they signed and make sure that there's a peaceful transition, and Ashraf Ghani and his goons do not continue to hold the balance of power. As regards NATO, unfortunately, they seem to be playing a negative role, that they don't want to withdraw. I don't know why. What is it that NATO has accomplished in Afghanistan in the last 20 years that they have not accomplished, that they think they will accomplish in another year, another 6 months, another 2 years? I think if history is anything, it should have taught a lesson. The Russians learned their lesson, and I think Americans have learned their lesson and should honor it. Now, as far as the Pakistan government is concerned, it has made it very clear to the United States that Pakistan is a partner in peace, but it will not be a partner in war if the war continues. So hopefully things will get better, and hopefully the Biden administration will consider the peace dividend seriously rather than continuing the war. Now, a report has been presented to the United Nations Security Council that Eric Prince Jr.'s notorious Blackwater company, which the United States used as a killing machine in Iraq and elsewhere, they tried to overthrow the UN-backed Libyan government twice in 2019. So basically, they are a loose cannon. They're not honoring the governments or United Nations, and they're trying to control situation in their own way. Hopefully, with the wars coming to an end, their role will diminish as well, and all the damage they've done in various countries will come to a minimum. Pakistan's Supreme Court has been hearing a reference from the President of Pakistan asking for the opinion about the Senate polls, which are due on 3rd of March. According to the Constitution, the Senate poll has to be confidential, has to be a secret ballot. However, because of the horse trading and because of the money, millions of dollars of money changing hands for buying votes, the government is hoping that the Supreme Court will authorize an open ballot, but it seems that's not possible without constitutional amendment. However, the Supreme Court seems to be leaning towards using some sort of identification on the ballot so that if the proportional representation is not maintained as required by the Constitution, then the Election Commission can investigate and find out who the culprits are, and hopefully then they can be de-seated. The hearing is almost coming to an end, and hopefully the judgment will be coming through by the middle of next week. Vaccination is now in full swing in many countries. In Pakistan, Pakistan made an early start. Most of the medical and frontline workers have been vaccinated, and from March, over 60, population over 60 will also start getting their vaccination. There's Chinese vaccination, there's AstraZeneca vaccination, and now the private hospitals and laboratories have been allowed to import vaccination on a commercial basis, and many of them will start vaccinations in March, but this is mostly the Russian Sputnik 5 vaccination. So it remains to be seen which one is the most effective. With regard to quarantines, the Canadian government of Prime Minister Trudeau has brought in a very strange restriction for travelers into Canada, that after getting tested at the airport, they must stay in a designated hotel for 3 nights waiting for the result of the test, and for that they must pay between $2,000 to $2,500, which is utterly ridiculous because hotels in Canada are not that expensive except the 5-star top-of-the-line hotels, and most of the hotels near the airport are $120, $130 range. So for 3 days, perhaps $600 would have been more appropriate than $2,000. Hopefully the Canadian government will review this. Also, why is it taking 3 days in Canada to get the test results? In Pakistan, you get it within 24 hours. In UAE, you get it within 12 hours. In many other countries, you get it within 24 hours. So that needs to be reviewed and fixed. Ideally, the government should have set up laboratories right at the airport and charge each passenger, say, $100, and make them wait for 2-3 hours while the test results come, and then those who are affected should be sent to the hospital. Those who are not should be sent home for quarantining for the 14 days. Anyway, so that's the vaccination, and the question is, will passengers be able to travel without further tests once they have the vaccination certificates? That remains to be resolved. Now, the Gwadar seaport in Balochistan, Pakistan, is now active. Shipments are coming in for Western China and for Afghanistan. And it's early days, but this port is likely to become one of the busiest ports in the world over the next few years. Also, on the positive side, there was a fabulous cricket stadium built in Gwadar with the backdrop of rugged mountains, which the ICC also flashed the pictures. And this week a cricket match was held there, and that was quite an event for Gwadar. So hopefully Gwadar will become a more attractive destination for many more things other than ships. Now, a roundup of the financial markets. S&P 500 was down 0.6%. NASDAQ was down 1.5% on the week. FTSE was down 0.5% on the week. Shanghai was up 1.1% on the week. Mumbai Stock Exchange was down 1.3% on the week. And Pakistan Stock Exchange was up 1% on the week. That's all for this vlog. Until next Sunday. Thank you very much for joining me. And please, if you have not subscribed, do so. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next Sunday. Goodbye.